What's up, gang? Kawaii50 here with another Fate Grand Order video, here of course to talk about the servant I am most excited for from the anniversary, and that is my boy Chen Gong from the Three Kingdoms era. I thought about doing a Chen Gong servant breakdown, I really did, but I figured it would be more helpful for the community if I ended up going into the Chen Gong system itself, because that is the reason our boy Gong is so famous. So I've got a very fantastic graph from Dora Pika, who you should all go check out on Twitter. I'm going to be putting the link to that below so you can download the graph and reference it yourself when setting up your own Chen Gong team. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show you how to take a look at that, and I'm going to do an example of the Chen Gong system in action with my own character set up. So hopefully that helps you out. If it does, be sure to go ahead, like, and subscribe. So in explaining the Chen Gong system, we first have to visualize it, and that is what Dora Pika has done in this following graph. I know seeing all of these servants, all of these CEs, everything set up in these ways might possibly make your head explode. But don't worry, it is actually very easy to read once you take a good long look at it. And I'm going to make it easier on you by explaining it myself, using a team from this very graph. So let's go ahead and take a look at the example we are going to be using. And we are going to be zooming in on this quadrant right here in the upper left-hand corner. This is going to be the setup I'm using. Now, what does all of this mean? Well, for starters, we want to use our Summer Mystic code that has the Arts Card Effectiveness boost. We want Waver, Scotty, Tamamo, and Hohenheim on the team along with Chen Gong to make 3 turning possible. And that max limit broken kaleidoscope there, well, that is the craft essence we will be giving Chen Gong in order to achieve total 3 turn supremacy. So that is how you read those different trapezoids. Each little trapezoid is basically a team composition for you to use. And the color coordinations don't really mean anything. They are just different color variations so you can tell everything apart. The only distinction is the yellow trapezoids in this graph, which means you might have issue handling berserker enemies. So keep that in mind when building your team. So now we're ready to pop into our example, and here is my team setup. I've got my Hohenheim, my Chen Gong, and my Tamamo on my front lines. Hohenheim has to be to the left, because remember, Chen Gong's Noble Phantasm kills whoever is to the left of him. So, sorry Hohenheim, but you're gonna have to go. Mostly recommended is having all of your servants at 10-10-10. However, I do not have that capability. So, I have gone ahead and padded my team at this moment in time with copies of the Merciless one. You might remember this free B craft essence that makes it so you gain 15 to 20% Noble Phantasm on your entire team when the equipped servant dies. That is going to be very useful for our setup. The final slot you can see is BB. Don't worry about that. I am just farming Bond. You can chuck whoever you want in the final slot for farming Bond. Let's go ahead and see how the Chen Gong setup works. Now, you might have seen a little thing in the corner of the graph that has a skull as well as a bunch of different servants on it. Well, that is who you are going to murder on each particular turn. So, wave 1, we want to destroy Tamamo, Hohenheim, Asclepius, or Nero Bride, and we are clearly going to do that for our Hohenheim this time. So let's go ahead and chuck our buffs out. And of course we want to use that buffed Tamamo for skill in order to get that NP strength bonus. Alright, here's wave 1. And there we go. Hohenheim gets sacrificed and we are able to move on to the next wave. He grants our Chen Gong a cool 20% Noble Phantasm gauge, and we can go ahead and bring in our Zhuge Liang and move on. Now, I've just got that for padding. You can, of course, use other craft essences if you want on your characters. This is just so I know every single time that I will be consistent. And we would have clearly been consistent here, because there we go. We got our Gong charged up again, and we can go ahead and fire the next tactical Waver missile.
この辺りが頃合いですか。
And you can see, even with our resistances, that was no big deal. That was a cool 450,000 damage with a Grailed 275 Chen Gong. Now we can go ahead and bring in Skahawk Scotty for the final wave. And this final wave is going to be incredibly simple. We are going to charge Chen Gong, of course, to his Noble Phantasm, and we're going to give him the arts buff so we can make sure that he has enough to kill whoever's in the final wave. This is done mainly in the event that there is a servant in the final wave, so Chen Gong can just absolutely ignore any of their resistances and blow them to smithereens with the two-pronged formation. And there you go, my friends. That is the Chen Gong system explained. That is how you can get your farming done simply with a 2-star servant. A 2-star art servant in an era when Castoria isn't even in existence. I hope this video was able to help you out. If you were excited about Chen Gong as much as I was, please go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. And please, go and follow the creator of that graph I showed you, Dorapika, on Twitter. It is such an incredible resource, and we need to show somebody who took the time to make that graphic that we appreciate it. Anyways, this is Kawaii50. If you want to talk more FGO, my Discord server is always open. Big thanks to the patrons on Patreon and the subscribers and followers on Twitch for providing me with the continued support as well. I really appreciate all of you out there. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. I will see you all in the next video.